So hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're gonna solve a lead code problem. The problem number is 344. The problem name is reverse string, and it's an easy problem. So let's understand the problem first of all. Write a function that reverses a string. We're gonna write some code inside this function which reverses a string. So what does reversing a string mean? First of all, HELLO. You can see the string over here, right? I'll take some text over here. HELLO. Now I'm gonna reverse it, which is OLLEH. Okay. So that's my string. That is my string has been reversed. Okay. And that is gonna be done with the help of a function. As simple as that. And the function code is gonna be written inside here. Easy. Got it. Understood. Okay. The input string is given as an array of characters. It's an array. It's an array, right? You must do this by modifying the input array in place with the 0, 1 extra memory, or 1 extra memory, or notations, or 1 extra memory. Okay, so what does O1 mean? Okay, O1 basically means that we don't have to be dependent on the input array, right? If the input array is this size, we're gonna be getting, let me explain that to you, O-N, and let me explain that to you, okay? First, you need to understand the difference between ON and how it can be solved with ON and how it can be solved with O1. Now we have the O1 space complexity. So I'll do this and this. For example, let's say we have Vinay. That's the name of a person. Vinay. Vinay reverse it with the help of ON. Okay. So for that, we're gonna create this as a list. Okay. These things are stored in a list. Each character is a different element stored in a list. Remember that. Okay. So you're gonna create a temporary list, and that is gonna be YANIV. Now, this was our temporary TMP list over here. Uh, this one over here is the original list, which we can call it as S. Okay. Delete this, delete this. I'll explain that to you much more in a much more easy manner. Okay. So when the list, the character, the elements in the list are Vinay. So for that, to reverse it, we're gonna create a new temporary list. And that is gonna be how you're gonna create it. First of all, let me explain that to you. Gonna take the first element, that is Y. The last element is gonna be the first element over here, YANIV. Okay, that is what is happening over here. Y is coming over here, A is coming over here, N is coming over here, I is coming over here, and the first element goes to the last place, right? So that is what is exactly happening. But we want to store it in the S list, right? So right now, our S is equals to Vinay, right? And our TMP is equals to YANIV, right? So what you're gonna do is we're gonna swap those elements. As simple as that. We're gonna swap it. The S list is gonna be swapped by the TMP. Each element of the S list is gonna be swapped by the each corresponding element of the TMP list. Okay. So V is gonna be swapped with Y, A is gonna be swapped with I, N is gonna be swapped with N, A, A is going to be swapped with I, Y is going to be swapped with V. Okay. The problem over here is that, let's say, the name changes. Let's say it becomes John Doe. What's going to happen now? In this case, in the O n complexity, here it is John Doe. So this was S, right? S list. But for that to happen, for us to reverse the string, we have to make a TMP list as well. So DOE, JO, not, it's not like this, DEODNHOJ. Okay. So this is gonna be a temporary list. Okay. And you're gonna do the last final step over here again. You're gonna swap those elements. But can you see the difference over here? The TMP list. The TMP list, the size of the TMP list is increasing. The second step, the temporary list which we are creating, the TMP list is increasing. That is N. The N decides, the input decides the space complexity. That is not we want, right? We want O1, as the question says, O1 extra memory. Okay. For that to happen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the list over here. Let's take a shape over here. Okay. Now let's divide that into 5 parts. Done, right? Uh, let's add the text over here. V, I, N, A, and then Y. Okay. Uh, this is our division. Okay. So how can we skip this part? For that to happen, we're gonna skip the second step or skip this step. We're gonna not create a temporary list over here. So for that, we're gonna use the concept which is two pointers. Within two pointers, we're gonna do that. Okay. What does two pointer mean? Okay. We have two pointers over here. The first pointer is gonna be named as left pointer. And the second pointer is gonna be named as a right pointer. Okay. Right pointer. The first, that is the left pointer, is gonna be initially targeting or initially be pointing to the first element or the element at the 0th index, and the right pointer is gonna be targeting the last element. Okay, the last element. So what we have to do is in each iteration we have to, okay, let's say this is the first iteration. Let's assume the gonna make a square again, not square, the rectangle again. Gonna add the lines over here. Okay, and then this is gonna be V, I, N, A, and then Y. Okay, so what you're gonna do over here is that the V over here is gonna be swapped with the Y element, with the Y character. Okay, we're gonna be swapping the left and the right. So what's gonna happen over here is after the first iteration, it's gonna become Y, and it's gonna become V. Okay, the first and the last elements, that's what we wanted, right? Y, A, N, I, V. We have it over here, Y and V. The first and the last, these three elements are remaining. So in the next step, what you're gonna do is we gonna okay, I'll add it over here again. We're gonna take our pointer, the left pointer is gonna be over here, and the right pointer is gonna be over here. So what we are basically doing is we are incrementing the left pointer in each iteration, and we are decrementing the right pointer in the every iteration in each iteration. So the now left is pointing towards right, and now the left is pointing towards the I element, and the right is pointing towards the A element. Okay. So again, the same thing is gonna happen. We're gonna swap it. Okay. So now what we're gonna get is before writing the code, understanding the logic is really important. So that's why I'm explaining that to you guys. Okay. So the A, then the N, then the I, and then the V. I think that's what you wanted, right? YANIV. The phonetics is reverse, right? And all this process is going to keep happening until and unless left is greater than right. That is, left should be always greater than right. Left pointer should be always greater than right. And since this is odd element list, that is the number of elements in the list are odd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The middle element is always going to be the same. And since we are not kept it greater left greater than is equals to right, we're gonna stop it right over here since we cannot swap it, right? YANIV. That's perfect. And since even though if the size of the element increases, size of the character, size of the input increases, we're gonna do the same process, right? We're gonna just swap it immediately, right? And there is no need of a TMP list. So this is much more efficient. So let's write code for this. Hopefully I have got the code understanding behind whatever I have said. Okay, so let's write the code. And if you don't know about constants over here, s dot length, the length of this list, the length of the list can be anywhere between less than greater than is equals to 1. It should be at least 1, and it should be less than is equals to 10 raised to 5. So since it can be a very long problem, 10 raised to 5 is like a very large number of digits, large number of characters. So we want to keep the space complexity to 01, and SI as a printable ASCII characters. We have this characters over here, right? So let's write the code. So first step, we have to initialize a pointer, that is left is equals to 0, and then right is equals to, I'll explain this to you, length of s minus 1. Okay, left is equals to 0. What is the length of this list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Length is 5, but since we have to keep the index starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The length is 5, but the index starts from 0. So we have to keep it 5 minus 1, that is 4. The last element is going to be at the fourth index. The length of s minus 1. So right pointer is going to be at this last element by with the help of the length function, which is provided by length method function, whatever it is, you can say, right? The inbuilt function, the inbuilt method, length of s minus 1. Okay. Now we want to do some loops. Okay. The loops are going to be keep performing until and unless left is greater than right, while left is left is smaller than right. Okay, that's way too much. Okay, left is smaller than right. Please understand. Okay, left is less than right. Okay, we cannot have left greater than right. Right, left less than right. Left should be less than right. Since left, if the left goes over here, the program automatically stops. Since the characters are reverse, so left should be less than right. Always remember it. While left is smaller than the right, we gonna enter the loop and we gonna say S, that is the list name. Gonna pass on to the left pointer number. The left pointer is currently pointing towards 0. So S of 0 is V. So it's gonna say S of 0, comma, S of right, which is currently at what index position? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is at 4. So fourth element is Y. Okay. We're gonna swap it. That is equals to S of right, comma, S of left. So the left element is gonna be swapped with the right element. The right element is gonna be swapped with the left element. That is what is exactly happening. The left is going to be swapped with the right. The right is going to be swapped with the left. So what are you going to get? Y, I, and AV. And we're going to keep doing it until we have the left is smaller than the right. Okay. Now, what's the next process? We have to increment it, right? The left should be going towards the next element. Okay. So for that to happen, we're going to say left plus is equals to 1 and right should be decremented. Okay. And I think it's enough, right? And we're gonna keep doing it until and unless left is smaller than the right. Remember, it left should be always smaller than the right. I'll erase this. If you haven't got this, understand it again. Left pointer at the first element, right pointer at the last element. Swap those elements. V becomes Y becomes V. Move the pointer, move the left pointer towards the right. That is incremented. And move the right pointer towards the left, that is decremented. Now swap the elements again. If it's an odd list of elements, odd number of list of characters in the element in the list, then the middle element is always going to be the same. Okay, this is our code over here. We gonna run it now and accepted runtime 0 milliseconds. Hello, the output is perfect. That's what you wanted, right? The input and the output. And that was our expected output. And case 2, HANNAH, right? That is what we exactly wanted. We swap these letters. Here the capital H has been moved over here, right? So that is exactly what we wanted. And let's submit it over here. So runtime 3 milliseconds beats 43%. Memory time taken. So it's great, right? Our code work. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Take care. Okay. See you.